On August 18, 2024, a basketball game between the Indiana Fever and the Seattle Storm became one of the most thrilling, unforgettable nights in WNBA history.
Clark slings it over to Hull, wide open three, she got it!
What started as a regular season matchup soon transformed into a spectacle that left fans and players alike buzzing with excitement long after the final buzzer.
So the defense was shading to the paint, and they made the beautiful pass up top.
The dynamic duo of Caitlyn Clark and Lexie Hull delivered a performance that will be remembered for years to come. Their extraordinary chemistry and individual brilliance on the court created magical moments that felt almost surreal.
Shanting and Smith. Clark lobbing it in. Boston draws two in the corner. Hull, you bet!
As soon as the game began, Caitlyn Clark, a force to be reckoned with, took control. From the opening tip-off, it was evident that Clark wasn't just playing a game, she was setting the stage for something historic. Within minutes, she had already showcased her sharp shooting ability and court vision, dishing out a perfect assist to Hull. This wasn't just a routine play, it was a connection that seemed almost otherworldly. Clark's vision on the floor was unmatched. She wasn't just looking for herself, but constantly surveying the court, ensuring that her teammates were in the best possible position to succeed.
A jam-packed Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, getting ready for the hot Indiana Fever.
The crowd marveled at her passes, many of which seemed to defy the laws of physics. It was as if she could see the game unfold in slow motion before anyone else did. With every assist, every quick move, Clark made sure that her presence was felt in every aspect of the game. By the time the first quarter ended, Clark had already accumulated 6 points and 3 assists, setting the stage for the magic that was to come. But as impressive as Clark's performance was, Lexie Hull was right there, proving that she was ready for the spotlight. The second-year player had shown glimpses of her potential, but had yet to truly break out. That all changed on this remarkable night.
Seattle Storm, here's Clark. Clark looking to take it around Lloyd. Clark bodies in and finishes.
Hull's shot was as smooth as silk, and she proved to be a deadly weapon from beyond the arc. She wasn't just playing in the shadow of her teammate. She was stepping up and making her presence felt in a major way. With Clark orchestrating the offense, Hull became the perfect complement. Together, they formed an unbreakable partnership, each feeding off the other's energy. By the second quarter, the game had reached another level.
Clark, what a pass, hit stride, and Hull lays it in. First lead of the...
Hull, sensing that this could be her breakout performance, started to let loose. She sank a deep three-pointer, sending the crowd into a frenzy and solidifying her place in the game's narrative. Her performance wasn't just about points. It was about the confidence she displayed in taking over the game when her team needed her the most. The night's significance grew even more apparent when Clark, with a brilliant lob pass to Hull, helped her score again. The connection between these two players wasn't just physical, it was mental. They seemed to have a mind-reading understanding.
Her time in college, we've seen it here in the WNBA, just looking ahead, and Lexie Hull knows if she runs the...
Anticipating each other's next move with such precision that it was hard to believe they hadn't been playing together for years. As Hull's three-point shooting was on fire, Clark was busy breaking records. By the end of the first half, Clark had accumulated another 4 assists and 6 more points, further cementing her place as one of the league's brightest stars. But this game wasn't just about scoring, it was about setting the stage for a historic season. In the third quarter, Clark's playmaking skills continued to shine. Every time she touched the ball, it felt like something exciting was about to happen. It wasn't just about making baskets, it was about creating opportunities for her teammates to shine. She had become a one-person highlight reel, and the arena buzzed with anticipation every time she had the ball in her hands. And then came the moment that would change the course of history.
Missed the bunny. Here comes Clark. Wielding through traffic, finds Hull, lays it in.
Clark, already having delivered several breathtaking assists, broke the WNBA record for the most assists by a rookie in a single season with her 232nd assist. This moment wasn't just a personal achievement for Clark, it was a reminder that her impact on the game was already being felt in ways few could have predicted. The crowd at Indiana Farmers Coliseum erupted, knowing they were witnessing history in real time. The arena roared with applause, and fans were on their feet as Clark made her mark in the record books. As the game wore on, Clark continued to be a force on both ends of the court.
Team Mitchell with 9 leads all scorers. Here's Boston. Off to Hull. Her three is good.
Distributing the ball with pinpoint precision and making plays that showcased her versatility. But despite all the accolades that Clark was earning, this game was truly a team effort. The Fever's offense was firing on all cylinders, and the unselfish ball movement and chemistry between Clark and Hull was on full display. As the final quarter of the game began, the energy in Indiana Farmers Coliseum shifted. While the Indiana Fever had maintained control for most of the game, the Seattle Storm were making their push to stay in the contest. But in that moment, as the clock ticked down, the spotlight was fully on Lexie Hull. Up until that point, she had already displayed flashes of brilliance, but now it was her time to shine. Hull came off the bench with the poise of a seasoned veteran.
We're going to push for Indiana. Here's Clark speeding all the way in to the cup.
Next level. She gets the ball in her hands. She pushes pace like no other.
Fully aware that the game was still within reach for Seattle, but determined to help her team finish strong. Her impact was immediate. With each three-pointer she sank, it became clearer that Hull was no longer a role player. She was the driving force for the Fever. What was truly impressive about Hull's performance wasn't just the volume of points she racked up, it was the timing. Every shot seemed to come at a pivotal moment.
Clark trying to shake Whitcomb. Step back is good. In the mid-range.
As if Hull could sense when the Storm were about to close the gap. When the Fever needed a bucket, Hull delivered, often with precision from beyond the arc. Her shooting display was incredible. Hull was a sharpshooter, showcasing a fluid, consistent stroke that left defenders scrambling to close out on her. With her feet set and her confidence surging, Hull drained shot after shot.
Points, here's Clark. Looking to shake Corsten. Clark sings a pass. Hull on the wing, connects.
Seemingly in perfect harmony with the rhythm of the game. Each three-pointer she made was a blow to the Storm's hopes of a comeback. And as the points added up, the gap between the two teams grew ever wider. But it wasn't just her shooting that made Hull so dangerous. She had a calmness to her game that belied her years. As the minutes wore on and the pressure mounted, Hull seemed to only grow stronger. She was in control of her emotions, never rushed, and her awareness of the flow of the game allowed her to make intelligent, timely decisions.
With Seattle, 7 to shoot. Good job by Horston bouncing out. Clark blitzed, passes out into Boston. There is Mitchell.
This was the kind of performance that indicated Hull had finally arrived on the WNBA stage as a player capable of carrying her team when the stakes were highest. Caitlyn Clark, always the showman, wasn't about to let her teammates steal all the limelight. Even though Hull was on fire, Clark knew she had a role to play in sealing the victory. Her own scoring and playmaking continued to impress, but Clark's flair for the dramatic was on full display during this critical juncture.
Early, miss there from Lloyd. Clark the fling ahead. Oh, what a dime! And Mitchell lays it in! And Caitlyn Clark officially has the most assists ever.
After seeing Hull drain multiple threes, Clark decided it was time to add her own special touch to the game. It wasn't enough for Clark to simply play the role of facilitators. She wanted to be a part of the action herself. Her three-pointer was a thing of beauty, smooth, precise, and coming at a crucial time to further break the spirits of the Storm. As the ball swished through the net, the crowd erupted. It was as if Clark had been waiting for the perfect moment to take over.
In this league's history, here's Katie Lou Samuelson. Can't hit the three in the corner. Boston the rebound. Clark a good look. She got it.
And when she did, she made sure that the entire arena knew it. The game was no longer just a contest, it had evolved into a showcase of individual brilliance. What made Clark's three-pointer so impactful wasn't just the skill, it was the psychological effect it had on the Storm. Every time they started to build momentum, one of the Fever's stars would come through with a clutch play to extinguish any hope of a Seattle comeback. It was a mental game, as much as it was a physical one, and Clark was playing it perfectly. As the clock wound down, it became clear that the Fever were in complete control. The Storm, despite their best efforts, had no answer for the dual threat that Clark and Hull presented. In the final seconds of the game, as the Fever secured their 92-75 victory, the arena was filled with a sense of pride and accomplishment.
had missed her first 6 from deep. But no hesitation there. Oh, what a dime! Clark to Boston!
This wasn't just any win, it was a statement. Lexie Hull finished the game with a career-high 22 points. Her performance from beyond the arc was especially impressive, as she shot an incredible 6 of 7 from three-point range. Her shooting percentage was astronomical, and it was a true testament to her growth as a player. Hull had stepped up when her team needed her the most, and her clutch shooting would forever be remembered as the key to the victory. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark had her own remarkable stat line. She posted 23 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. But perhaps most importantly, Clark had just set a new rookie record for assists in a single season.
Ogunbowale, the weak side rebound, and then Clark the steal. Mitchell the knockaway. Clark's 3. It's good.
Surpassing Tia Pinheiro's long-standing record of 231. Clark's 232 assists spoke volumes about her vision, basketball IQ, and playmaking ability. She wasn't just scoring. She was orchestrating the offense, setting up her teammates for success, and doing it in a way that had never been done before by a rookie. After the game, the buzz wasn't just about the Fever's impressive win. It was about the unbreakable bond between Clark and Hull. The connection between the two was so seamless that it felt like they had been playing together for years, not just a few months. They were operating on the same wavelength, anticipating each other's movements with uncanny precision.
Clark, she got it!
Their synergy on the court was a perfect reflection of the mutual respect they had for each other off the court. As always, Caitlyn Clark was quick to take to social media, and in her typically playful fashion, she posted a tweet that would soon go viral. "This is now a Lexie Hull fan account," Clark wrote. It wasn't just a light-hearted joke. It was a public display of her admiration for Hull's performance and her growth as a player. The tweet was met with an outpouring of support from fans who couldn't get enough of the connection between the two players.
Just curious how that one felt and how you felt walking up the floor and seeing some people that are close to you.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, to get a win in front of anyone is great.
It was a moment that showed the power of social media to amplify the bond between teammates and connect them with their fan base in a meaningful way. In her post-game interview, Lexie Hull reflected on the significance of the night. She was emotional as she talked about having her family courtside for the game.
My grandma, who came all the way from Spokane, and my sister.
Shout out Cheryl.
Yeah, go Grandma Cheryl. And my sister came from Austin. It's amazing. And to have them, courtside was super cool too. So really good.
To get a win in front of anyone is great, but to get a win in front of my grandma, who came all the way from Ceylon, and my sister shout out to Cheryl was amazing, Hull said. Her words highlighted the importance of family and the pride she felt in sharing such a monumental moment with those who had supported her from the beginning. Clark, ever the joker, was asked about her viral tweet and responded with a smile.
And we saw you tweeted that you're a Lexie Hull fan account now. What can you say about the performance
Twitter
you
really
had?
quick to tweet that, or X. Yeah, so my account will solely be about Lexie if you want to follow. I'm going to change the bio to Lexie Hull fan page. So
My account will solely be about Lexie. If you want to follow, I'm going to change the bio to Lexie Hull fan page. Her lightheartedness and sense of humor were evident, and it added a layer of authenticity to the connection between the two players. It was clear that they weren't just teammates, they were friends, and their bond transcended the game itself. The game against the Seattle Storm wasn't just a one-time performance. It was a symbol of what was to come for the Indiana Fever. With Caitlyn Clark and Lexie Hull leading the way, the team's potential seemed limitless. Their play on the court showed that the Fever were capable of competing with the best teams in the league. But it wasn't just about winning games. It was about creating a culture, a brand, and a new identity for the team. For Caitlyn Clark, this game was further evidence that she was quickly becoming one of the faces of the WNBA. Her playmaking, scoring, and ability to make her teammates better had already set her apart. But her performance in this game had solidified her place among the elite. She was a star on the rise, and it was clear that the WNBA would be her stage for years to come. For Lexie Hull, the game against Seattle was a statement. She had arrived. No longer was she the up-and-coming player. She was here, and she was ready to take on whatever challenges the league threw at her. Her shooting performance was a turning point in her career, and it was the beginning of what promised to be a long, successful journey in the WNBA. As the night came to a close, fans and players alike knew they had witnessed something special. It wasn't just about the victory, it was about the story behind it. The Indiana Fever had found their stars, and with Clark and Hull at the helm, they were poised to take the league by storm. For those who were lucky enough to witness this game firsthand, it was a night they would never forget. It was a night filled with magic, history, and unforgettable moments. And for those who missed it, the legacy of Caitlyn Clark and Lexie Hull would live on in the annals of WNBA history. If you enjoyed this incredible performance, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sport Pulse, for more amazing moments like this. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because when players like Caitlyn Clark and Lexie Hull take the floor, greatness is always just one play away.